He is Jamal Crawford. He's part of the broadcast team with Mike Tirico and Reggie Miller. Good to talk to you, Jamal. Your thoughts as this series now heading back to San Antonio is what?
This series has been even better than I think everybody thought it would be. And OKC is still missing two key pieces with AJ Mitchell and Jalen Williams and still have control of the series right now. On the other side with the Spurs, their youth at times shows up, but then their fearlessness shows up when they can just take off and go on a run. So this series has been interesting. It's been fun to watch, fun to be a part of. And now we don't know what's coming next in Game 6.
Why was Wemby upset after the game, didn't meet with the media? Anything happen or happening that we're not aware of?
Yeah, I don't think anything's happening. I was actually kind of shocked to see that as well. He's always available, always there to talk, even with the post-game interviews on the court. I'm sure he wants to get back in the locker room, but he's always there. So I don't think anything's going on. I don't know, but I was a little surprised to see that as well.
I'm surprised with his rebounding or lack thereof. That first couple of games putting up some big numbers, and since then not putting up big numbers. What is OKC responsible for this, and if so, how much?
No, OKC is a great defensive team, and obviously Wemby has their full attention. So they're going to continue to show him multiple bodies, be very aggressive, be very physical. But that's just the OKC standard. That's how they play basketball. They played that way the whole season. On the other side, I thought Wemby wasn't aggressive enough. He's such a unselfish player. If he starts the game with 3 or 4 shots in the first half, I don't like that version of Wemby where he's trying to get everybody else going. I want him to come in and get 10 shots up in the first quarter because it puts him in a mind state where his energy is higher. He's more aggressive. I think that's where the rebounds follow. When he stays in the paint, that's when he seems to dominate. That's when the rest of his game opens up and all the other facets come to the forefront.
How would you guard SGA?
If I was guarding SGA, to be honest with you, I would make him beat me with the 3. I would not let he's too good getting to the mid-range. He's too good using the bump. He's too good being a magnet where he kind of draws you into fouling him. I would sell out and say, you got to take 23s today. And if he makes 10 of them, that's still only 30 points. You proved you can get 30 points on your terms. You would have to get 30 points on my terms. And I would just sell out and make him shoot threes. And he's too good to just settle for that. But I would try to make that the primary of his shots by just saying, you know what? It's a wall here. And either you're taking long twos every single time and no role players touching the ball, or you got to shoot threes, and we're going to sell out to that. Because he's so unselfish, I don't think he would just settle for just taking threes every time.
Okay, but if you know that he is going to pump fake you and then draw the foul, then stop going for the pump fake. Let him contest the jumper, but only with your hands up. Don't jump. Allow him to jump into you.
It's easier said than done, for sure. You can know the scout that the pump fake is coming, but then when he hits a couple, you just get anxious. And one thing about Shea, you get real anxious, Dan, like real anxious. One thing about Shea that I figured out is nothing moves him. He doesn't show emotion, and that's frustrating to go against because you can't really read him. He could be so frustrated inside, but no problem, no problem. And as a competitor, you want to draw him into that fight, and he's just saying, "Oh, you gonna foul me again? I'll just live at the free throw line." So he's playing a different game of chess. I'm not sure it's possible just to make him do any one thing, but I would absolutely, try to be the second to leave the floor. Let him shoot and contest late without going for the pump fakes.
Yeah, it's an interesting team philosophy that they have because they feel like next man up, or not you tonight, it's you tonight. I mean, it is sustainable, but it's kind of interesting that SGA, even when he has an off night, it just feels like somebody else realizes and rises to the occasion. That's a true testament to how that team has been built.
Yes, and the culture. And Coach Daigneault, if you think about it, he may not play Isaiah Joe for 3 quarters, but then play him in the 4th quarter. And Isaiah Joe is okay with it. Like most teams, they're like, what do you mean I'm not playing? I didn't check out. I ain't played till after halftime. I'm not playing. Don't even put me in. They have a culture where they don't care who it is. Game, I believe it was, we were 5-4. I think it was game 3 or 4, whatever one it was. Shea was out there with 4 bench players. The starters didn't play at all in the 4th quarter. They may have played very little in the 4th quarter. They won the game. They were over there cheering. That culture is special, and it's almost like they realize their culture is special in real time. They're not like, man, we should have did this when we were all young. Like, they figured it out, and you got to give credit to Coach Daigneault for that as well.
He's Jamal Crawford, NBA on NBC game analyst, and Game 6 on NBC and Peacock tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern. And I was curious when you hear people in the media label a team quit, like the Cavaliers in that last game, they quit. It's a really rough word to use. If you use it, you're a former player, or if somebody who's the opposition or maybe the team or a coach, whatever. Did you ever play on a team that you thought quit?
I'm not sure I was on a team that quit. But early in my career, my Bulls days, we got beat so much. I'm not sure we were quitting or they were just, just like that trying to follow that Jordan, last dance championship a couple years later wasn't it. So I'm not sure anybody quit, but to be labeled that is harsh, right? Like that's like the worst thing you could say about a team.
Yeah.
As competitors, as the best athletes in the world, having that mentality, that's one of the worst things you could say about them. But hey, when I saw Jalen Brunson come through with the fake, and it looked like Curly Neal and everybody froze and looked at him, and it was like the Globetrotters against the Washington Generals that last play where he just walked in for a layup. I couldn't believe it. So there was something there.
But not quitting?
They may have tapped out a little bit. Just tapped out a little bit. Hey, they weren't front running, but they may have been running front. There was something going on there.
Whatever happened to the greatest game never played at Rucker Park?
Oh my goodness. The blackout.
Yeah.
It was incredible, Dan. It was Jay-Z told me that he rode past the park at like 10 a.m. And there was already like 7,000 to 8,000 people outside. The game wasn't until 5 that night. So people could not wait. Fat Joe, Jay-Z, Terror Squad, Rockefeller, they all had their kind of rap beef that spilled over. And myself, LeBron, Sebastian Telfair, Eddie Curry, Kenyon Martin, we're all outside 40-40, and we're about to go to the park. But the sun's starting to go down, the lights go out.
And now 40-40 was Jay-Z's club.
Jay-Z's club outside right there in Midtown, and we had to go to Harlem to 155th, and we're like, okay, the lights went out. This is New York City. Nobody's thinking the lights are going to stay out, right? So it gets darker, it gets dark. And now we can't go play a game because it's at nighttime, everybody's there, the last game of the summer. And we tried to go there and like put the bus lights on. We always had this Rockefeller bus, this S. Carter bus. So we'd get picked up at 40-40. Jay-Z had this private bus for us. We'd go to the park, get out like celebrities. He was really the only celebrity besides LeBron, of course, at that time. We were just NBA players. These guys were the celebs. And then we couldn't play the game. And so when that happened, we had to go to a radio station. Everybody's listening to Hot 97. We're talking stuff. Fat Joe and those guys are talking stuff. It's crazy. And the game never happened. Never happened. And it's like in folklore now. They said they had Yao Ming. We said we had Shaq. Neither one were seen, but both called in saying they were going to play. Like it's crazy. It was crazy at that point.
Okay,
they had Iverson.
Yeah, I got Telfair, you, LeBron, Lamar Odom, and Shaq.
Okay.
Fat Joe had Stephon, Iverson, Carmelo, Jermaine O'Neal, and Yao Ming.
Who do you like in that matchup, Dan? On the playground. On the playground. This is blacktop now.
Well, you guys got Shaq.
We got Shaq.
No free throws. No free throws.
There's free throws out there, but the line's closer. That line's a little closer. So Shaq would have been all right.
Okay.
Yeah. So who you got?
I'm going to
Shaq
take
was the most dominant player, Dan, at this time.
I know, but I might take Fat Joe's lineup here.
Oh my! Who's the mover for you? Who's the one that pushed you over the top?
Well, I got AI and Marbury.
You do.
But street ball, that's pretty good.
But on the street, on the blacktop, me and Sebastian were like AI and Marbury. Not in the NBA, but on the blacktop, we had that same go down. So that could have canceled each other out.
All right. Yeah, it's fun. But okay, so Jay-Z and Fat Joe had a rivalry.
Yes.
They had a beef.
Yes.
But what happens in those beefs other than guys just talking?
Well, Fat Joe's just not a talker. We know him as a talker now. He's a great storyteller. But Fat Joe, fatigue Fat Joe, that was a different Fat Joe.
What was going to happen?
I'm not sure, but I'll tell you this. Jay-Z had 100,000 with him. And he had it like in a brown paper bag. And I remember him leaving it outside 40-40, and somebody had to rush back and get it. So there may have been some mistakes on that game between those two.
Can Jay-Z play basketball?
He had a nice jumper, lefty. He could shoot it. We've never played together, but
okay, who could shoot better, him or Angel Reese?
Oh, you taking shots, Angel. Close in, close in. I'm further out. I'm going to go Jay-Z. I'm going to go Jay-Z further out.
Is this where they have the announcer who's on the court doing play-by-play to the,
Yes.
the loudspeakers?
They're part of the action. Yes, they're part of the action. They're absolutely part of the action. They're on the court. They're the soundtrack, right? They're the score to the movie. So they're the ones bringing all the sauce, and they're bringing the crowd into the game. They're the ones who make Rucker what it is in some ways.
There was a moment last night, and Reggie said that's a play-on moment. A foul was called.
Yes.
I don't think that there's enough play-on moments here. I worry about that.
Right.
And I said this in starting the show. I think there's more contact in the WNBA. I'm not talking about harder hits. I'm talking about the physicality that they let them play on. I'd like to see a little more play on. I don't want to see, the New York Knicks of the 80s where it's,
right.
first team to 90, but there's contact. And it feels like we don't let players play on like we should.
So if we were going to a court and we played to 15, right, ones and twos, and the last possession is like 14-14, you know that it's either going to have to be like blood, a grab, like something to be like a clear-cut foul on that. But in, the earlier moments, those fouls may be called and they may be respectful and check up. We need to have the playoffs where every possession is that 14-14 point. So that way the players are deciding it. You want the players, you want the best to rise to the top. And that's what we want. We don't want anything. We don't even want to have to look and say, oh, that could have been a foul or that may not have been a foul. Like, let them play. And if it's obvious, call it. If it's not, play on.
And even that call that went against De'Aaron Fox where if SGA should be able to come down, and they called a foul. I mean, he comes down and then falls down, which I know he's trying to sell it. And I get it. When you're up for a shot, you don't want somebody underneath you because,
right.
That's how you break an ankle, sprain an ankle there. But SGA comes down and then falls down. Nobody hit him.
No.
I get those moments, let's earn the free throws just a little bit more.
And I think now it's such a drastic change to how they call it in the regular season. Like, it's like almost night and day. I wish it was just consistent. It was just, this is what it is. Like, don't look for a foul. You're not going to get a foul unless everybody in this arena sees it's a foul. And then, like, some people master the game. Some people master the rules of the game. And I think that's the blurred line at times, right? And they play within that.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want the focus to be on that. And I probably spent too much time talking about I don't want it to be the focus, that it is the focus. Because
yeah, you've helped hiding it right now.
Yeah, no, I know, and I feel bad, but I know what's going to happen. I know I know what's going to happen, and this game coming up, I know what'll happen if they go back to OKC, and then once they go to the NBA Finals, I know we'll focus on this probably more than we should.
So you got OKC going to the finals then?
Well, I'd look for San Antonio to win this game.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people think.
Right. I think, yeah.
I want to see Wemby be Wemby. I want him to be aggressive. Like this is it. You got to do it. You got to, take that rivalry with Chet Holmgren. And I thought Isaiah Hartenstein played great. He does what you want him to do. Be energetic, bounce around, get rebounds. I mean, I want that energy there. But Wemby's got to be he's got to be the best player on the floor.
And the two games they won.
Yeah.
But the two games he lived in the paint as well. And then he built out. And he was decisive. I think at times when he gets the ball in a live possession free throw line here, I think he's trying to process it instead of just going. Just go. Put them, because they're naturally aggressive, so they're going to, maybe reach or foul or whatever, double team, and then you can make the play. But I think when he's processing things, it gives them more time to kind of shift their defense as well. So he has to be Wemby for it to happen. If he's not, it's very clear at this point. If he's Wemby, they'll probably win. If he's not, they'll probably lose.
Did Jordan ever say to you, you reach, I teach?
In the commercial, he absolutely did.
Yeah.
So when he picked me to be the younger him in that 39-23 commercial, first off, I had no idea it was going to live on this long and be one of the greatest commercials ever. But I remember that the director's name was Joe Pike, I believe. He had directed Space Jam. And he's like, all right, we're on the floor, these million cameras there in the United Center. He's like, do this dunk. And Jordan turned him, hey, JC, don't do all that dunking. All right, he don't do that. He's like, all right, well, do what you want. So I'm like, MJ, what's the line? He's like, just play. I'm like, am I trying to play like you or am I playing like me? He's like, just play. I'm like, all right. So we're playing one-on-one. And I start reaching, you reach, I teach. And that's where it came out. So he did tell me that. It was in a commercial and there was no line. So at this point, we're just talking trash. I said, I got that. You got that? You're too young to get that. You've never seen this before. So he's just talking, freestyle talking. That commercial is one of the highlights for me in the NBA for sure.
And was that McDonald's?
Gatorade. And I got paid for it, Dan. I couldn't believe it. When that check showed up from Gatorade, I was like, what? I got a pair of Jordan 1s that I still have that I got from Set. And I got a check for $5,000. I couldn't believe it.
Did Jordan think that you looked like him?
No, they were going to self-impose him. But I was, he's 6'6", I'm 6'5". I was both thin. So it worked. And they put his face on my body. But I have still shots where you can see like, oh, that's Jamal's little peanut head and little arms. So.
But you were better than Jordan at that point.
No, I wasn't. He was still like the man. He was a little bit older, but he was still the man. At no point in my life have I ever been better than Jordan. Maybe right now, if I caught him on a golf course, we could play one-on-one, I'd catch him. But that's it. No point ever.
You're better than him now.
Now I can get him.
Yeah.
This is the only time. Yeah. Hey, but Dan, he's John Wick. Don't tell him. Don't let him see this clip.
Great to talk to you. Have fun.
You as well.
Thank you,
Appreciate
buddy.
it.
All right.
All right.
Jamal Crawford.